Hello everyone, and welcome to RadioCSIRT English Edition, your daily appointment with cybersecurity news. I'm Mark Frederick Gomez, your French cybersecurity voice for today's threat landscape. It's Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. You're listening to episode 488, live from Paris, France. In today's episode, Australia's Cyber Arrow exercise bringing together government, industry, and infrastructure for large-scale incident response and forensics readiness, new CERT-FR advisories detailing multiple vulnerabilities affecting NetApp Products, Mozilla Thunderbird, and Mattermost Server, a researcher disputing Coinbase's disclosure timeline after reporting fraudulent activity linked to the December 2024 breach months earlier, Microsoft mitigating a record 15.72 terabits per second, AI Suru-driven DDoS attack sourced from hundreds of thousands of compromised IoT devices, Google issuing patches for an actively exploited V8 type confusion 0-day, alongside additional Chrome engine fixes, a critical unauthenticated command injection flaw in W3 Total Cache exposing over 1 million WordPress sites to remote code execution, and Thunderbird 145 introducing native Microsoft Exchange support, DNS over HTTPS performance improvements, and extensive bug fixes. And if you are a new listener, feel free to subscribe to the podcast. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube channel, Deezer, and Spotify. In October 2025, the Australian Signals Directorate and the Australian Cybersecurity Centre conducted Cyber Arrow, their largest cybersecurity exercise to date. The drill brought together government, industry, and critical infrastructure organizations from the energy, communications, and finance sectors. The objective was to strengthen preparation and response capabilities for a major cyber incident. The exercise provided a hands-on environment to practice digital forensics, incident response and investigation workflows. Participants tested detection processes, response actions, and overall security plans to identify areas requiring improvement. The ACSC leadership highlighted that joint exercises between government and industry are essential to build operational readiness and reduce the impact of large-scale national cyber incidents. The National French CERT reports multiple vulnerabilities in NetApp Products based on security advisories on TAP 2511-14-0005, on TAP 0006, and on TAP 0008 dated 14 November 2025. The affected systems include Brocade SANnav, SANnav, prior to version 2.3.1b, and all versions of the HCI compute node Bootstrap OS. The flaws enable remote denial of service, data confidentiality breaches, and data integrity compromise. Associated identifiers include CVE 2024-45782, CVE 2025-1053, and CVE 2025-31498 fixes are provided in the vendor's security advisories. Again, National French CERT-FR reports multiple vulnerabilities in Mozilla Thunderbird covered in security advisories MFSA 2025-91 and MFSA 2025-90, dated 12th and 13th November 2025 versions prior to 140.5 and 145 are affected. The flaws enable remote arbitrary code execution, security policy bypass, and an additional issue not specified by the vendor associated identifiers range from CVE 2025-13012 to CVE 2025-13027. Fixes are available in Mozilla's security advisories. For the last, CERT-FR reports multiple vulnerabilities in Mattermost Server, detailed in security advisories MMSA 2025-00510 and MMSA 2025-00533 dated 17 November the 20th, 25. Affected versions include 10.11.x, prior to 10.11.7, 10.12.x, prior to 10.12.3 and 11.0.x, prior to 11.0.5. The vulnerabilities lead to a security issue not specified by the vendor fixes are available in the official Mattermost advisories. A news from the Register. A security researcher claims Coinbase knew about a December 26, 2024 data breach months before its public disclosure. Researcher Jonathan Clark reports being targeted on January 7th by scammers using detailed personal data, including his social security number, cryptocurrency balance, and account information. Clark emailed a full security report to Coinbase that same day and received an initial reply from the head of trust and safety. He says no further responses followed, despite 4 additional emails sent in January. In May, Coinbase disclosed the breach to U.S. regulators, stating that 69,461 customers' identity, financial, and document data had been stolen, and that attackers attempted to extort $20 million. Clark disputes the official timeline, asserting he encountered misuse of the stolen data in early January. Coinbase did not respond to subsequent inquiries. Microsoft reported automatically detecting and mitigating a DDoS attack that peaked at 15.72 terabits per second and 3.64 billion packets per second, targeting a public IP address in Australia. It is the largest cloud DDoS attack observed to date. The traffic originated from Isuru, a Turbo Mirai-class IoT botnet, using more than 500,000 source IPs and powered by around 300,000 compromised routers, cameras, and DVR devices. The attack consisted of high-rate UDP floods with random source ports and minimal spoofing, which simplified traceback Isuru has been linked to previous large-scale DDoS events and reportedly operates with a restricted clientele, with most identified targets related to online gaming. The botnet also supports credential stuffing, AI-driven web scraping, spamming, phishing, and a residential proxy service. NetScout also detailed the Turbo Mirai botnet 1111, or Rapperbot, responsible for roughly 3,600 attacks between February and August 2025, with C2 servers registered under the .libre OpenICTLD. Despite the takedown, compromised devices likely remain at risk of future hijacking. Google has released security updates for Chrome, patching 2 vulnerabilities, including CVE 2025-13.22.3, a type confusion flaw in the V8 engine currently exploited in the wild. The bug, rated 8.8 CVSS, enables arbitrary code execution or crashes through a crafted HTML page. The issue was reported on November 12, 2025 by Clément Lesigné from Google's Threat Analysis Group. Google confirms active exploitation but provides no details about attackers, targets, or scope. 7 Chrome 0 days have been addressed this year, including CVE 2025-2783, CVE 2025-4664, CVE 2025-5419, CVE 2025-6554, CVE 2025-6558, and CVE 2025-10585. CVE 2025-13223 is the third actively exploited V8 type confusion flaw of the year. Google also patched CVE 2025-13224, another V8 type confusion vulnerability detected by its AI agent Big Sleep. A critical vulnerability in the W3 Total Cache WordPress plugin exposes over 1 million sites to remote code execution. Tracked as CVE 2025-9501 with a CVSS score of 9.0, the flaw originates in the _parse_dynamic_mfunc function. It allows unauthenticated attackers to inject commands through malicious comments on any publicly accessible post. The payload executes with full site permissions, giving complete control over the WordPress installation. All versions prior to 2.8.13 are affected. The attack requires only submitting a crafted comment containing PHP code, which the server processes directly public disclosure on October 27, 2025, provided attackers with weeks of visibility into unpatched sites. Potential impacts include data theft, malware deployment, website defacement, redirection, and persistent backdoors. Version 2.8.13 contains the fix. Thunderbird 145 adds Microsoft Exchange support through the Exchange Web Services API, currently limited to email. Calendar and address book support is planned for a later update. Work is also underway to integrate Microsoft Graph, the recommended API for Microsoft 365 services. The release expands the capabilities introduced in version 141, including active mail sync, notifications, basic search, folder and flag management, attachment support, improved auto configuration via Account Hub and better performance and reliability. Additional changes include DNS over HTTPS support, manual configuration options in Account Hub, removal of Skype entries, renaming junk to spam, and ending 32-bit Linux x86 binaries. The update fixes multiple issues: add-on account creation, EWS authentication handling, address book behaviors, safe defaults, UI accessibility, header downloads, ICS drag and drop, emoji rendering, GNU-PG prompts, and reliable creation of sent and spam folders for new IMAP accounts. And that's the end of this Tuesday episode. I hope it provided clear and useful information. You can share your feedback by email. All open source intelligence sources used for this episode are available on RadioCSIRT.com as well as in the episode description. See you tomorrow for a new episode. Until then, don't think, just patch. Have a nice Tuesday. See you soon.